different system on how soccer functions here in the States. It just, you can't have both sides here. And college soccer just does not exist. You ask Europeans and they look at you and they just think, what the hell are you guys doing? You're wasting. What did Christian Pulisic say in his letter to the Player Tribune, Armand?
It's like 17 to 18 were like the most important, where he learned everything? Is that what he said? Like
pretty much that.
Along those lines?
Yes. And at 20,
that's very telling. You have a guy, like you're about to say, coming at 22, 23, playing his first professional game.
It's ridiculous.
Come on. People need to realize this isn't the NFL. This isn't the NBA where 2020, even in the NBA it's changing that 21, 23 is old. NBA players are 18, 19 coming to NBA. So there you go. The change is happening in other sports except soccer? Come on, man. Come on.
All right, moving on. Well, we kind of spoke about this. And my Christmas wish list would be invest in the youth, but my problem is, what the hell are they going to invest into? How are you going to get these youth to play soccer? And the problem is I think MLS does a decent job, but I think this falls more on the USL teams, the smaller division clubs, on really trying to get these 18, 19-year-olds to sign contracts, and then allowing them to realize there's a bridge. MLS, rather than going, I wonder, Armand, call me crazy. What if there's a draft from USL teams to MLS rather than college?
Well, why do they sign him?
Well, then why can't they sign him? Why isn't there more money going into picking up the best players from USL and bring them in? Because
we saw Hildebrandt going to Atlanta.
Well, hello,
players like that.
Where's that happen? I don't know. England is a great example. Where did Dele Alli come from?
MK Dons.
Exactly. Tottenham target him. They brought him up from lower division. Bang. Fine.
I agree with I agree with what you're saying. I mean, we are slowly seeing some NASL and USL players moving up into the.
But you need to give hope to these players that say, well, what's the point of me playing soccer past college if I'm not going to get it? I wonder how much that plays into a role. Like, some of them want to go, some of them don't want to go, but then there's probably some on the line thinking, well, how many players have been successful in doing
Barely. Not many.
Well, not many. Some of them play, but how many of them have actually gone on to have great careers?
Probably not much. I don't think many at all, to be honest with you. And it's a big issue. I do feel like they need to step it up a little bit and give these guys a little bit of hope. Kind of like it's the second division that gets screwed the most. The lower division, sorry.
Yeah, and we've purposely not talked about promotion relegation on this show all that much because I think it's a topic that's been worn out. It's been discussed. We will do a future episode on it. Don't worry, listeners. But we want to have we want to have guests that know what they're talking about, who support it and then who don't support it, or just have people in the media actually have real discussions because it's great for these soccer candidates for the U.S. presidency to say, yes, invest in the youth. But how and why would you do this way and not this way? And how is this going to actually perform? Because we just talked about it in the first segment, Armand. There's talented players here in the United States, no question about it. I think that the investment in youth should be paying the players who've worked the system to realize there's money to be made in this way. Or even if you go to the USL, it's not a bad thing.
Exactly. Like the problem is the USL and NASL are considered minor league, and they really aren't. They're professional leagues. There's the lower pyramid.
Well, that's the thing is they need to brand that as saying this is just Division 2, but this goes into the promotion relegation system where it's like, well, if you go to Division 2, you still have a chance of beating the D1, the first division. You have that opportunity.
Exactly.
And it's just back and forth, and we can go all types of things, but we're gonna move on. Armand, get your final point before we move on to our final break.
I do think so. Santa baby, if you listen to this,
Santa baby,
please, for the love of God, tell Don Garber to bring in Cincinnati, Sacramento, and Nashville all by 2019-2020. The teams are expected to play by 2020. Cincinnati can play in 2019, and the other two can play in 2020. Bring them in. Tell Miami, wait a little bit. You've been wasting our time for all this time. Bring them all in. They all deserve a soccer team. That's all I want to see. I just want to see them. I just want to see them have just be an MLS.
So Miami's not getting a team?
No, I say Miami is getting a team, but I would wait till later, and I would delay their bid. But they're so invested in this Miami thing that they're not going to be able to. The problem is MLS owners are probably like, "What the hell? This guy's paying $25 million for a team, and they're being a
50.
pain in the behind. 25 or 50. It's being a pain in the behind. We have 3 teams that are ready infrastructure-wise. We have one that's ready to play right now infrastructure-wise. In line, we're going to pay $150 million to come in. So why not get them involved? I think MLS needs to look and be like, all right, we're going to get all 3 of these. Miami will have you waiting. We'll be at 26 teams by 2020?
So right now we're at 23 because LAFC is joining. So
then you have Cincinnati at 24, Nashville 25, Sacramento 26, and then you have one of those other teams fight for that last spot. Miami 27, 28. Bring them in together. Boom, done.
All right, so 20. Let's talk a little format change here with 26 teams. Yes or no? Playoff size will increase.
No.
What about the scheduling format? What do you do with 13 teams in each division?
What, 26?
Yeah. In each conference, sorry, not division. In each conference, you have 13 teams because they're going to split it evenly.
It's tough. I mean, I guess I would say play everyone in your conference home and away. And then...
so that's 24 games?
Yeah, and honestly, you could do that and then play everyone in the other conference once, 37.
That's too many.
That's
too many games.
How many games does a Premier League play?
But you play everybody home and away. But think about how... Armand, we already have issues with the World Cup. Unless you're going to completely flip the schedule, you can't play that many games.
That's only 3 more games.
I know, but how bad did Atlanta get screwed?
Atlanta got screwed because they had to reschedule like 5 of their games because the stadium game delayed. That wasn't because of Atlanta's control. That was because the stadium got delayed. That wasn't because of like MLS scheduling. The MLS scheduling was normal at first.
How are you going to do with the FIFA windows now?
You can work around them. It's not hard. Put a couple of midweek games in.
I think you shrink the schedule a little bit.
To what, 12?
What do you mean 12?
I don't know, like just a home and away and that's it?
Yeah.
So the home and away for
your conference.
Wow.
24 games. You make the season real tight. Everybody would love it. I think the fans would appreciate it because you're really, really implementing a system which every win actually matters. With so many games, it becomes meaningless. Like you could lose this game and you're like, who cares? There's next week. Fine.
It's fair, but I mean...
Well, then, here's the thing. Don't play anybody in the opposite division. I don't care for that. Play everybody in your conference. Then, here's even a better idea. Based on last year's standings, this is not talking about promotion relegation. This has nothing to do with it. If MLS keeps the system for at least the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be the single entity. Just get used to it, okay? Just get used to it, because there's no point of changing it. But with 12 teams in each division... You play everybody home and away. Then if you finish in the top half of last year's playoffs, you play them home and away again. And then the bottom half of the conference plays everybody home and away too. Then you create the schedules a little bit easier so the better teams play the better sides and the bottom teams play the worst sides. So it kind of balances out the schedule difficulty. And if you're a sucky team, you play other sucky teams. That's a good idea. Then you would get, so it was 6, so suddenly 5, 10, 24, so you'd be at 34 games, exactly where MLS is at right now. It's good I'm telling you, that's a good idea.
Interesting.
That's a damn good idea, man. How can you say no to that? But back to your expansion, who else after these 3 teams are going to get it? Because we're got 2 more cities.
Phoenix, Miami.
Phoenix? You're really relying on Phoenix?
Absolutely.
Is there a market that really should get it?
Should? Detroit should, but Detroit City does not like Detroit's MLS bid. They don't like MLS in general. They want open pyramid, so they're not going to ever
Motor
do that.
City FC, that's what they should be called.
Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome. I'm just thinking, Dallas City Soccer Club, Dallas City FC, beautiful name there. I think anything with the... I'm telling you, Armand, you and I are going to start up Dallas City, and when promotion and relegation, we're going to freaking win everything.
No. Stop.
Anyway, listen,
I'm not starting anything.
We'll be right back. Well, listeners, we hope that you have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas,
Happy Hanukkah,
Happy Hanukkah, all the happy holidays, whatever it is. We will have one more episode come out this week, and then we'll be gone for the Christmas and holiday weeks.
Yeah, we got stuff to do.
We got stuff to do, but we got a fascinating episode coming up after this one. We're gonna try to get on the perspective of Major League Soccer from an international perspective. Yes, indeed. But listeners, follow us on Twitter, UncSamSoccerPod, Steven Jotter, and Armand Kafai. Thank you so much for listening this year. And it's been fascinating seeing MLS and U.S. soccer change right in front of our eyes as we're doing this show. It's incredible. I remember Armand and I were sitting at Starbucks discussing just, where we're headed here and this show, and wow, Armand, a lot has changed. And this Christmas wish list, it just shows how much has changed in 6 months.
Our perception, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
All right,
it's been a very, very interesting couple months.
Here's my idea here's a really irrational idea that I think could be really spectacular: the creation of a soccer network. Straight up soccer network. It broadcasts to you NASL clubs, interviews, talk shows, USL, MLS, national team, the women's league, Americans abroad. Basically what this podcast does. Name it Uncle Sam Soccer Network. I don't care. Let me run it. I'd be brilliant at it. But I think U.S. soccer should develop this because NFL has it, the NBA has it, MLB has it. I think NHL has it too. Armand, if this isn't MLS creating a network, this is U.S. soccer, and you would have exposure, and with advertisement, you could give some of that money to the lower division teams that have been struggling because they don't have any TV deals like MLS does.
I like it. It's actually a really interesting concept to have. I actually do like it. I think it's very interesting. Just depends on how many viewers. Is it worth making? Is it worth the production? They do everything online now. Cable cutting. I think it'd be better to go to what they're doing.
You say this is.
I feel like MLS is doing it right now, but no one cares.
What is MLS?
Because MLS. They do have pregame, postgame shows streamed on.
No, that's not the point of this show. The point of this soccer network is basically it's ESPN, Fox Sports during the day, but it's just all soccer related. It's interviews. It's morning shows. You might dip into what Manchester City are doing. Fine. People are going to find that interesting. But the majority of the soccer network is really the focus on American soccer. And it goes into these lower division teams. It goes into, I don't know, the Rochester Rhinos.
But how many people do you think care about those issues?
I think a lot more than we make it out to be. I think people...
I think